Well, you don't come to the United Center to hear Silent Night. Jim Cornelius, and it never gets old, nor does the rivalry between the Blackhawks and the Canucks. Between the benches, Mike Johnson, and a lot of focus on the Sedins, who do lead this team in scoring, Mike, but there's still that expectation for more.
That's the standard they've set. They've been so good, so consistent for so long that you expect no matter who they're playing with, they're going to keep plugging along, be a threat every night, be a point-per-game players. That hasn't been the case in the month of December. They've hit a bit of a dry patch, both Henrik and Daniel. Alex Burrows is out. They have Jannik Hansen on their wing, maybe not the ideal winger for them. And so for the Vancouver Canucks to be successful, now they have a second line to rely on in Ryan Kesler. They need that first line going again. It'll be a challenge tonight going up against Jonathan Toews.
Toews was Sharp and Hossa to start against the Sedins and Jannik Hansen. The Canucks had a lot of eight-game streaks in last night in Dallas. 8 consecutive games with points, 8 consecutive games in which they had scored first, and 8 consecutive games in which the opponents had been held to 2 goals or less. So we'll see how they rebound tonight after a tough travel day here from Dallas. It's Toews in behind the net. He's being tracked by Hamhuis. It'll come back to the point. Chalmerson with the shot wide. The bad angle effort. Trying to test the youngster Eddie Lack early. It'll be kept in by Oduya. Good pressure here by the Hawks top line, which seems strange to say with the fact that the number 2 scorer in the league, Patrick Kane, will be coming on soon. Hossa tied up along the boards, and that's Higgins knocked down. He gets up and finds the puck along the boards. Higgins continues to battle, and up with the puck, Santorelli. Bieksa backhands it deep again, and now the Canucks will try and hem Chicago in their own zone. There's Chalmerson, who's been out quite some time. He turns it over. The Santorelli shot is off the side of the net, and the Hawks are able to get it out at center. Versteeg's on the ice, and here comes big Michael Handzus testing Eddie Lack, the former goaltender for the Chicago Wolves in the American Hockey League. He's been here before for this kind of matchup, but as a fan,
he wasn't backing down, though. He came out and said this is the biggest game of his NHL career. Looking forward to the challenge of back-to-back night. Tired team in front of him facing the Blackhawks.
Here's Keith ahead, and the red-hot Patrick Kane over the line into the middle, and that shot is stopped by Lack, and a good job there to not give up a rebound with Kane on the doorstep. Our game plan brought to you by Tim Hortons, the official coffee of the NHL.
And for the Chicago Blackhawks, or the Vancouver Canucks, all about getting the pucks in, forecheck. You don't want to get in a track meet. They don't have the horses to compete with Chicago that way. And for Chicago, you know the situation. You know that Vancouver was in Dallas last night. They got in late. They're a little tired. You have more depth, so you want to push the pace, make this game fast. That's when they're at their best.
3rd and 4, 4th game in 6 for Vancouver against a pretty well-rested Chicago team who have not played since a win in Nashville on Tuesday, although this game 38 for each team. So it all evens out as the season goes along. Vancouver's done well in back-to-back on the road against teams that have been waiting for them. 5-2 in this situation. So John Tortorella not conceding anything coming into this night's game. Here's Andrew Shaw off the side of the net. As the Hawks generate a chance off the rush, this their 3rd line with Brandon Saad on the ice, along with Andrew Shaw. Shaw stood up in front of the net by Weber, and the Canucks are able to clear it.
And you see Nick Leddy, just another one of the defensive for Chicago. Good skater, jumps up, turns a 3-on-3 to a 4-on-3, leading to the Shaw chance.
Brent Seabrook bouncing it through center ice. Tearing after it is Patrick Sharp. It'll be Toews on the forecheck, but the puck is slid back out to center. Duncan Keith with it there. Off the ski to Toews, and Sharp will play it back in. Toews after it, but Dan Hamhuis is there. He hands it to Seabrook, who winds and fires just wide. 5 goals in 6 games for Sharp. He spins it back to the point. It'll be returned to Keith, and a one-timer is deflected up onto the netting, off target by Patrick Sharp.
You get a sense of already of the speed that Chicago plays with. Lots of puck movement, lots of body movement. Seabrook and Keith here working the point. Shot goes wide, back up. Nice drag here by Keith. Opening things up, then tees Sharp up right in the wheelhouse, and he puts it right off the backside of the net. and over, but they use the full width and depth of the offensive zone to stretch coverage and find seams in the offense of Chicago.
Sedin's on the ice, and they're matched up this time against the fourth line of Chicago. Joel Quenneville likes to play a four-line game, and it'll be fired off the boards by Hansen down the ice, and there's Aduya. So Aduya and Hjalmarsson likely an offside there. Hansen just unable to reach that puck before it crossed the blue line. Hjalmarsson, Aduya, the shutdown pair for Joel Quenneville.
That was close there at the blue line. Jay Scherer is with the call. Jannik Hansen trying to keep this puck inside. Aduya with a blind feed, and it's very close, but tie always goes to the referee, so another close call made correctly.
Jay Scherer, Ryan Galloway on the lines, Chris Lee, Mike Hassenfratz are the referees tonight in Chicago. Here's Kane. He has points in 10 consecutive games and 22 of his last 23. Only that guy in Pittsburgh has more points. Sidney Crosby with a 5-point advantage over Patrick Kane.
You talked about Kane on the second line, second scorer in the league. He's not playing with Sharp and Hossa. He doesn't have the power winger. He's got Handzus and Versteeg. Makes what he's doing that much more impressive.
There's Chris Versteeg back in a Chicago uniform after a few years away, a member of the 2010 Stanley Cup team. He battles along the boards and gets it back to the point. There's a pass into the middle for Kane up top. He'll flip it into the corner, and Versteeg will work there as back to the point. Kane across. Now flipped to the net and kicked aside by Lack. Farhan Lalji will have a report on Eddie Lack in this first period. A guy in a tough situation, but he certainly doesn't give you the impression that he feels that.
He's calm. He's unusual for a goalie. He's out there chatting before the game, holding court, feeling no stress about what was upcoming. And he had a big job in front of him going up against this high-powered Chicago offense.
And he may have to weather a storm. We've played just 5 seconds shy of 5 minutes, and no shots have been registered as yet by Vancouver.
One team skating right now, that's Chicago, and Vancouver just trying to find their legs.
Andrew Albert's on the ice. Here's Sestito, and there's the first shot. Zach Dalpe driving the net, and Sestito puts it on Antti Raanta, who has been a nice story for Chicago, replacing the injured Corey Crawford. So, battle of the backups here tonight. Not the usual Crawford-Luongo matchup. Here's Seabrook, and the folks in Chicago feel he's playing as well as Duncan Keith, who's getting all kinds of Norris puff again here, but so is Seabrook. It'll be Andrew Shaw twisting behind the net. He'll play it back to the point, and now Nick Leddy's got it. He fires it, and that one deflecting out of play.
And you see what Vancouver's trying to do in their own end. When in doubt, they are just collapsing all around Eddie Lack, getting 5 guys below the hash marks. They're going to give up the pass to the point and then try to get in the shooting lanes. But a little confusion there between Santorelli and Kessler. Kessler doesn't release to go out and play the right wing spot that Santorelli had vacated to play defense, giving Nick Leddy the easy shot. And after the whistle, Kessler and Santorelli had a little chat trying to sort it out.
Ryan Kessler wins the faceoff. Did not have a shot last night in the game in Dallas. And they'll have to do it all over again. An icing call against Vancouver.
We got some nice dialogue going right now between the benches. Sestito and Bickle back and forth, having a little fun, setting up a potential meeting later in the period. Always entertaining. Doesn't take very long for the old rivalry to get rekindled.
Sharp will take this face off. A clean win by Kessler. Ryan Kessler, the lone goal for Vancouver. The last time these two teams met, it was a 5-on-3 goal for the Canucks. They had the lead, and then 2 and 9 seconds in the third period, Chicago stole one in Vancouver. Here's Kessler flipping it loose. He's got an open man. Chris Higgins, and Raanta with the stop. Clear-cut breakaway for Higgins, who's been hot for Vancouver. On a great feed from Ryan Kessler, and a better stop by Antti Raanta. Now they're back in with Santorelli trying to get loose on the right side. And it's Taves playing it back into Vancouver ice. And Tanev celebrating his 24th birthday starts the breakout. Through center, it's Hansen. And a pass for Daniel Sedin doesn't work, and it's chipped back out into the center ice area. Ben Smith trying to get loose, unable to do so, but it'll be Brandon Bollig sending it in. Fourth line for the Hawks, centered by Marcus Kruger, who had the game-winning goal in that 2-9 outburst. Kruger from the corner, looking to center. It'll be chipped back, and Bollig will try from behind the goal line there. So the scouting report might be to get as many pucks towards Eddie Lack early as possible.
There's some room there. He left the post early, trying to sneak back into his net. He is so tall. He's got to hug the post. He's pulled himself back a little bit, and you can get an angle in the knee. And Brendan Shanahan probably gives anyone ever to bank pucks in from behind the goal line. Bollig looking to do so.
There's Versteeg. He is checked by Brad Richardson. Swept deeper by Hansu. Center for Steve. Put backhand. And Lack makes the stop. Just a little flick on the backhand by Versteeg and a close chance. And now scores on the tip. It does sneak through on Eddie Lack. And the Hawks strike first.
We talked about how the Blackhawks like to use the entire depth of the offensive zone, and look who gets the puck here, walking the blue line. That's Patrick Kane, and just wrists it in, and I think it's Chris Versteeg floating out to the high slot, just gets a piece on it to tip it between the legs of Eddie Lack right there. Engages Andrew Alberts. Alberts can't tie up his stick as Versteeg continues to move further away from the net, and the Blackhawks get off to the 1-0 lead.
So Versteeg scores his 11th of the year, and Patrick Kane has an 11-game point streak as he'll draw an assist on the opening goal of the game by Chicago, and offside at the Vancouver line. The shots are 7 too early, and Chris Versteeg has the goal that's put Chicago ahead here in the first.
And Vancouver almost got the start they wanted. Blackhawks like to engage their defense, and that's Roosevelt drifting up, and all of a sudden you hear the entire bench erupt, yelling to Santorelli that he's got Chris Higgins in alone, and Higgins as hot as anybody for Vancouver, can't get it to go 5-hole. And then you get a better look at the goal here as Patrick Kane floating out, biding time, just throws it in there, and a subtle little tip by Chris Versteeg to drift it 5-hole on Eddie Lack. And just like that, Chicago's got the lead, and Vancouver, who have been outplayed a little bit through the first 8 minutes of this game, almost got their feet into it with the Higgins breakaway.
Fans giving Joel Quenneville an ovation here as they announce that he has registered his 685th win in Nashville the other night. He is now number 4 on the all-time coach win list. There's Kessler scrambling to get to the bench on a change as the Sedins now check back in.
Clearly, John Tortorella wants Kessler up against Taves.
And Kane back on the ice once again. Most points at this juncture of the season for Chicago since Jeremy Roenick in 93-94, en route to 107 points that year. Versteeg, the goal scorer, gets it in, and now Chicago in the midst of a change. And a lead feed up on the right side gets past Hansen. Hjalmarsson unable to connect with Hossa. He'll get the puck again and try the left wing feed, which gets by Patrick Sharp. Black out of the net to play it, and now a breakaway pass for Hansen just misses. And this is not going to be icing. Hansen got there, and Kessler whips the shot wide. It'll come around to Garrison. He fires it, ramped off a stick up onto the glass. Kessler a shot, and that hit the side of the net as the Canucks now with a little burst. Kessler on the ice, and Hansen with Higgins. Seabrook up with it, off the boards, and it bounced on Garrison out to center. Hansen trying to get to the bench, didn't see that pass coming as Canucks in the midst of a change, and Santorelli now gets out there with his line mates.
That's somebody to start matching lines. Kessler jumping, Henrik going back out there now. Steele out with the second line instead of Chris Higgins, who got the early change as well.
Now it's Sestito up ahead for Kessler. Good pass across. Andrew Alberts, and it's kicked aside by Antti Raanta. And a big hit there as Sestito ran over a Blackhawk. And that was a huge hit at center ice on Michael Roosevelt, or back in the Chicago zone. So Roosevelt takes the hit, and now he'll go after it again. There's Sestito after it on the forecheck. Hit there by Dale Weiss, and out comes Brandon Saad. Here's Saad. Can't get the shot through against Garrison, and now Jason Garrison will backhand it ahead for Dalpe. Zach Dalpe in front of the Canuck bench, turns it over. Vancouver changing, the Hawks doing likewise as we pass the midway mark of this first period. With that little chip pass, Jesus into the zone, and Brad Richardson will send it to Garrison up at center ice. And a delayed offside, so Zach Kassian has to retreat. Now Kane sidesteps Richardson. He'll take that give and go play. Kane, this stick side. Chalmerson on his backhand sends it deep. Alberts gloves it down. A season high for Andrew Alberts last night of just over 13.5 minutes as Kassian crashes into the end boards. Chalmerson, the lead feed just out of the reach of Bollig, and that's an icing call against Chicago.
Zach Kassian going off the bench as he crashed in the boards hard, trying to get into the forecheck. And Chicago so dangerous with the puck. Even when you have numbers back, everyone in position, you see Patrick Kane dancing through guys. Little slip pass for Versteeg, and all of a sudden, Patrick Kane's in on a mini break. And one thing Eddie Lack's got to realize is Patrick Kane likes to shoot short side as much as anybody in the league. Attempted it right there again.
Daniel Sedin with the backhand. Teams is break out of a scoring funk. Hansen goes after Chalmerson. Up along the boards. It's stopped there by Hamhuis. Hamhuis, who has been the busiest Canuck of late. The shot by Tanev doesn't get through. Now knocked down by Kruger. And he'll play back to Chalmerson as the Canuck forecheck was effective, but now Chicago's out. Kruger gets a big hit by Bollig.
That was heavy right there, got right side his shoulder.
Leaned on Chris Tanev. Santorelli gets upended, but sends it into the Chicago zone. And now the Canucks, after that early push by Chicago, seem to at least be slowing the pace down. But here comes Taves and Hossa over the line. Marian Hossa, and Eddie Lack's got it. A glove stop, and he'll hold on with Jonathan Taves on the doorstep. Chris Versteeg, the goal scorer. And the Hawks lead 1-0. Seven saves for Eddie Lack so far in the game. Here's the latest, and with more on the Canuck goaltender tonight, here's Farhan Lalji.
Chris, John Tortorella says he doesn't want to use Eddie Lack like a regular backup, meaning that he doesn't want to hide him and select the opponents that he plays against. One of the reasons is Lack's demeanor. This guy's always got a smile on his face, and he's always got this childlike giggle. He's always confident, and he's seen this rivalry take place. You mentioned earlier when he was a member of the Chicago Wolves, he was here and he watched how the fans would get on Roberto Luongo. I asked him what that would be like. He says, well, let's hope I don't have to find out. And after the first goal, the reaction, they haven't figured out yet to just go with Eddie, but he just wants to be at the center of a rivalry like this, guys.
Boy, it was cool. There was no signs of any nerves prior to the game. Not often a goaltender will talk to the media a couple of hours before, but no problem for Eddie Lack, who got an interesting start against St. Louis in a similar situation. Long road trip, a well-rested, good Blues team, and Lack went in there and posted his first NHL victory, so he'd like to duplicate that against another tough team in this division. Duncan Keith ahead. That will roll in behind Eddie Lack. Jonathan Toews on the forecheck, but the Canucks send it out. And Mike Santorelli, little pratfall there, gets up and the puck finds him, and now he'll send it around. On the far side is Daniel Sedin, who was chipped by him, and Kruger will play it back out. Andrew Alberts, Henrik Sedin, and that was cut off by Bollig. He centers, and has to be sharp again on that quick shot from Ben Smith.
And you mentioned the extended minutes for Andrew Alberts. Last game in Dallas, first game in a while. He's going against Chicago Blackhawks under duress. Turns this one over. Right there, Henrik trying to kick it back to him. And nice pass from Bollig out to Smith, one-timer. And that's a good save and a big save for Eddie Lack. Keep this at just one goal. As Ben Smith looking to get that sweeper through the legs. And he shuts it down just in time.
Lack came in and relief third period last night after the fourth Dallas goal. So got the final 17.5 minutes to tune up for tonight. Alberts back in his own zone. Took a hit, plays it up along the glass to this near side. Sent to the line, but held in by Andrew Shaw. We were talking about it earlier today, Mike, how this Chicago team so well constructed, lines 1 through 4, but here comes Hansen. Henrik across, and that one bounced on Alberts. Around it comes, and the captain's got it. Henrik waiting for the hit that gets knocked off his stick, played to the line. Alberts trying to save it, and he does. Good hold by Andrew Alberts, and now Hansen from the corner. He had a boatload of chances last night in Dallas. Might have been a different game had he been able to cash. And now Bieksa back into his own zone, and icing waved. Here's Kevin Bieksa. Flipping it through. David Booth on it. Got it to Kassian after taking the hit. Now Booth to the near side. 2 goals in his last 3 games, and the Hawks are out to the red line, and they'll send it in. Kassian taking a run at Versteeg. Lack up off the glass. Knocked down by Jesus. Patrick Kane's in the area looking for the puck. Versteeg can't get it to him, but now Kane reaches and finds it. It'll be Nick Leddy coming down and shooting, and that's blocked. En route, may have hit Tanev. Check that Yannick Weber with the block shot. And now behind the net, Keane looking for it. Weber trying to track him. Keane will bounce up high. Booth will try and stay with him. Now Garrison slows him down. Booth unable to clear it. Versteeg tries to get it back, and now it's outside the line. Leddy with some room to move back in. Changes gears, cuts to the net. And Lack with the save, and there'll be a penalty against Vancouver. And Yannick Weber slow to get up in the crease after that crash as Nick Leddy went hard to the net. Be a Hawk power play. NHL on TSN is brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Yeah, Weber shake up on the play, but he takes a penalty right here. He's planning on the drop pass to Patrick Kane, gets caught cheating on it, and Leddy takes him all the way to the net, holds him there, and then you see him take the post into the neck. And he went down, but he'll have a couple minutes in the penalty box to recover as Nick Leddy aggressively taking a puck to the far post.
Well, here's strength against strength. The Red, great power play against the best penalty killing unit in the National Hockey League. It'll be Sharp up top. Jonathan Toews, Duncan Keith's got it. It bounced off him and shoveled behind the net. Keane was cut off, and Higgins will clear it for Vancouver. Canucks number 1 ranked. Have allowed only 12 power play goals this year. Chicago have power play goals in 11 consecutive games. And a break here for Kane, and he can't get the shot away. 14 of their last 41 for Chicago. Sent back to the point. Sharp across. Keith to Toews. Santorelli working there, and now he'll try and stay with Kane. Captain's got it. And takes a return pass. Andrew Shaw parks in front, and his net presence a big reason this Hawk power plays work so well. Keane up high. Toews as they work it around. Rolling puck, and no shot yet. Now it's Toews a blast, and that was blocked, and Hamhuis on the limp after getting in the way of that shot. Chicago was 0 for 2 in their first meeting of the year against this Vancouver penalty-killing unit. Here's Hossa, nice pass, and it's played in front for Seabrook. Couldn't get a shot off, and Lenny, who created the penalty, down into the corner, lost possession, and the Sedins will work it out. Here's Daniel to the red line, and he'll roll it in. 9 seconds of the power play. Leddy with 5 remaining, and the Hawks without a shot. Marian Hossa over the line. Weber back on the ice. Good roadkill for Vancouver. Centering pass was blocked by Lack. Saad trying to get it out in front. Knocked away by Bieksa, and Weber has the stick break as he heads off after a brief stint after the penalty. Well, let's see if the Canucks can get a little momentum off that penalty kill here in the final 95 seconds of the opening period. Back in comes Chicago. Ben Smith along with Kruger. Bieksa off the boards. Kessler's bumped by Bollig, and the puck stays in. Aduya sidesteps a hit, and we've got a penalty as Bollig was tied up along with Kessler, and it's going to be Bollig who gets the gate.
And he's going to get the interference call, trying to run a subtle little pick on Ryan Kessler up by the blue line. Does a good job here finishing him, squeezing him off, letting Johnny Oduya get the puck, but it's this one right here. Step into him, kind of box him out. Kessler sells it well. And now Vancouver gets their first power play of the game.
Bollig, the most penalized Chicago Blackhawk, and so the Canucks got to work 0 for 5 on the trip. They were 0 for 3 last night with all kinds of chances against Kerry Lettinen in Dallas. Sedin's out there along with Kessler. Hamhuis and Garrison, and here's Hamhuis able to bounce back after that blocked shot that nicked him on the penalty kill. Sedin's in deep, fixing there with Hjalmarsson. The Hawks win the battle and clear it. Under a minute left here in the opening period. Here's Ryan Kessler leading the Canucks in power play goals. Daniel pushed down by Seabrook. Kessler in the corner. Up along the boards, it's Taves. Comes loose for Hossa, and he'll loft it down with a half-minute remaining in the opening period. Hamhuis slowly ahead. Clock draining in the period. See if they can mount a scoring chance before time runs out. Hjalmarsson off the boards hard and to the line. Will be kept in by Bieksa and now cleared, and that will do it. Off the stick of Hamhuis. Shots were 10-3 in the opening 20 minutes. And Chris Versteeg with that deflection beating Eddie Lack for the lone goal. 1-0 after 1 in Chicago. Let's join Rod Smith and our panel. Well, Rod, prior to this road trip, most observers would have thought Roberto Luongo would have gotten this start. It is indeed Eddie Lack, and a pretty good first period for him, all things considered, Mike.
He did. It wasn't an easy situation. Tough travel day, playing against the best team in the league, the best offense in the league, and he steps in there knowing that he's going to have to be good early, and he was. Chicago carried the play territorially on the shot clock, out shooting Vancouver 10-3, and you watch all these saves for Eddie Lack. Not only did he make the save, but as importantly, no rebound whatsoever, stopping the rush and offensive chance for Chicago at one and done, allowing his team to try to regroup, reset, and start over. So Eddie Lack's giving the Canucks everything they could hope for out of their goal in that first period.
And Brandon Bollig's in the penalty box, 38 seconds remaining in his penalty. So the Canucks on the power play to start the second. Just 3 shots in that opening period. Chris Higgins, Tom Sestito, and Andrew Alberts, the lone men to test. Antti Raanta in the first period of play.
Well, all things considered, though, Vancouver goes to the dressing room and says, okay, We knew it was going to be a tough period. We got out of it 1-0. We didn't really do much well, and we're still right in this game. Let's go try to win this 20 minutes and make a game of it in the third.
Duncan Keith back in his own zone. Chalmerson just scoops it into center ice. And the Canucks will get organized and now move back in. Here's Daniel with a shot right on and a rebound that bounces all the way to Hamhuis. Another rebound and Henrik can't convert. So 2 big rebounds provided by Raanta. And the Canucks fail to capitalize. There's a shot by Daniel trying to center once again. Good pressure on this power play to start the second period, though, for Vancouver, and a shot is fought off there with a deflection in front by Kessler. And now Bollig on the ice, and the Hawks barely kill off the penalty. A blocker saved by Raanta, and Chicago gets it out. The 3 shots there on the power play, and back in comes Vancouver. Daniel looks for it along the boards. Henrik gets it to him. Now a pass in front, and Raanta out beyond the blue paint to make the save. It'll be Albert shooting it right on, and it'll be flicked out at center. So a much different start to this second period for Vancouver. Taves has it knocked off his stick. Out comes Sharp, and that's cut off by Chris Tanev, and he'll flip it into center ice. Here comes Vancouver. It was 10-3 the shots. It's now 10-7. Santorelli along with Kessler now. And Chris Higgins, who's had the best chance so far in this game for Vancouver. Higgins finds it in the corner. Playing it back for Alberts. Sends it deep. Santorelli there. Higgins in front and Hansen jostling as well. And now it's Patrick Sharp with an outlet that slides to center. Albert's unable to hook up with Santorelli, and here's Taves to Sharp. Patrick Sharp being Anusa with a shot off target. Played along the boards, and away goes Higgins at center. Higgins will chip it in past Roosevelt. Higgins falls in the corner, but gets up and has the puck. Trying to reverse it to Hansen. Gets some help there as it's played back by Richardson. And a shot by Bieksa, and another penalty is upcoming against Chicago. Eddie Lack not moving from the net, and now he comes
off from the bench
as the Hawks touch the puck.
Everyone trying to get his attention. He says, "I'm sorry, didn't recognize," and it looks like it's going to be Roosevelt heading off to the box.
He just liked watching a much better start to that second period.
It's like, finally, let me see some action at the other end. And it's been a very good start for the first 2.5 minutes for Vancouver. Hansen gets in front of that, gets away with a high stick, pokes Roosevelt up in the face, and then the cross check on Chris Higgins knocks him over. But that's what you can get if you make Chicago play in their own end. You can get them running around as Vancouver just did.
Get a little momentum against a penalty kill that is not very effective. Surprisingly, the Hawks, #1 team of the league, are 28 on the kill. Here's a pass out of the reach of Daniel. Chalmers in the corner. It's knocked away from him, and Daniel along the boards. There's Henrik. Kessler also up front as Daniel surveys from behind the net. Henrik tracked by Chalmerson. Hamhuis across, and now it's Henrik with a slap pass tipped in front, and Raanta reads it. And Daniel looks skyward that he didn't do as much with that as he would have liked.
Well, generally, Chris, they like that play from the other side where it's a forehand tip, a lot easier to create the angle necessary to get it up, and that one's just a little bit too much of a redirect, so it's more of a pop up in the air, not a lot of velocity on it, and Raanta makes a nice save coming across to squeeze it.
First 7 shots of the second period all belong to Vancouver. Shots are even at 10 apiece, and the Canucks trying to even the scoreboard as well. Hamhuis unable to hold it, and they'll reboot at center ice. Jason Garrison and Hamhuis are the point men. Just over a minute remaining in the Roosevelt penalty. Here's a shot right on, another rebound into the slot. Hossa reaching for it, and the Hawks will clear it. Now Garrison, good right wing feed, flipped into the corner, but the Hawks able to clear past Kessler and down the ice. Here comes Ryan Kessler flying through, great move, centering pass, and loose in front where the Hawks come up with it. And Hanzus will clear. Good dash by Kessler, and now Kevin Bieksa's at the wheel. On the tape for Higgins. He'll flip it towards the net. That bounces through. And Ben Smith with an outlet, and back comes Duncan Keith to the pass. Here they come. A centering pass for Keith well behind them. And the Canucks will try and expose this with a quick counter. It's a centering pass in front. Higgins plays it, routes it down. And Ben Smith finds it and fires it down the ice. Roosevelt out of the penalty box, and he's in behind the net, looking to center, and the shot goes wide. So approaching 5 minutes of the second period. Chicago without a shot, but here's Patrick Kane. Once again up high. Kane, great dish, shot, big stop, rebound, scores Patrick Kane, and it's 2-0 Chicago.
And this is Patrick Kane at his very best. Hasn't been on the ice with all these penalties. He's fresh and ready to go. He takes it to one-on-one with Kevin Bieksa, one of the most aggressive defenders, and yet because of the respect Bieksa has for Kane, doesn't play him hard, backs off, gives him some space. He finds Roosevelt and then flows over for the empty net rebound attempt. But look at him dragging all three, Richardson, Cassian, slipping it to Roosevelt, and then when you're hot, sliding it underneath Kevin Bieksa. But the respect he has now because of his hands from the opponents, they don't even want to challenge him, giving him more time and space to make those nice plays.
So terrific start to the period, momentum off the first power play, some chances on the second, but once Chicago gets back to full strength, it's Patrick Kane and a 2-0 lead for Chicago. Kane now with 20 points in this 11-game point streak. Goal and an assist tonight. Nick Leddy ahead. Well, trouble for Roosevelt. He gives it away, and right back in comes Leddy. Throws it to the corner. Back to ricochets to the corner, and Chicago will clear. So Patrick Kane with 48 points leads Chicago. 21 goals, one of 5 in the NHL with 20-plus goals so far this season. Bieksa back in his own zone. Out of the reach of Taves, and now it's Daniel with a nice outlet, and Bieksa tried to jump up in the rush, knocked off his stick. Here's Hjalmarsson in. Leaves it for Hossa. Sends it in behind the net, and Taves after it there. Andrew Alberts for Vancouver. Taves centers. Hossa and Lack has to make a stop. Rebound, and Sharp fanned on it in front after Eddie Lack made the first stop once again. Kane from Roosevelt and Seabrook the scoring play for the Hawks. At 4:57, it's made it a 2-0 lead for Chicago. Rod mentioned that these games have been low scoring the last 6 meetings. Just 23 goals have been scored. Here's Kane again, and Alberts won't let him by. And 87% of the last 6 games have been played with the score tied or one team or the other ahead by only 1 goal. So rare in recent memory to have a 2-goal lead for either team, and that's what Chicago enjoys right now. Higgins flips it out, and Keith and Seabrook will regroup. 2 and 7, and will they be together on the Canadian Olympic team as they are on almost every shift for Chicago? Richardson sends it wide of the net. Seabrook up, off Keane, a giveaway there, and David Booth can't get loose in the hot zone. Now Booth will try and chase it down against Duncan Keith. Arrives first. Continues to battle. There's Dale Weiss up with it. Trying to get it back to Booth, and that's cut off by Andrew Shaw. And Seabrook out at towards center. That's gloved down. Knocked down by Garrison. Right back in. A shot scores! Zach Kassian with a hot shot that gets by Antti Raanta. And the Canucks needed that.
Did they ever, as an innocent-looking play. Nice job by Garrison in the neutral zone to keep it up. And then you see it get off the inside of the left foot of Brent Seabrook. A shot that's heading glove side, ends up back on the blocker side, posting in. Is why Antti Raanta looked so bad on that one. Fooled by the deflection off his own defenseman. And the Canucks, who started this period so well, seemed to sag after that Kane goal. Now right back into it.
7th of this year for Zach Kassian. It was -3 last night. Jason Garrison draws the lone assist on the goal at 8:19. So once again, the teams separated by just one goal. Roosevelt ahead, Taves to the attack. Here's Taves' shot, and Eddie Lack holds on to that. So the difference now in the game, a goal by Patrick Kane, who has 1-1 tonight, and we'll have more from Firehead Lalji on Patrick Kane when we return. Sidney Crosby continues to lead the scoring derby, but Patrick Kane making it interesting, and with more on number 88. Here's Farhan.
Chris, as we go back to last year's Stanley Cup playoffs, Patrick Kane really struggled to find any offense until late in Game 4 of the Western Conference Final against the Kings, when Joel Quenneville reunited him with Jonathan Taves. And that really has been the story for Kane throughout much of his career, but not this year. They've been apart for 28 straight games, and Kane says he likes it. He said when he played with Taves, he found that Taves always had the puck, and he just let him do the dirty work. This year, Kane's got the puck more. He's playing defensively, and he's finding he's playing a much more effective 200-foot game, and he's just got the puck more. He's been much more effective at both ends of the ice as a result.
Been the suggestion that the puck probably on the stick of Patrick Kane so far this season more than any other player in the National Hockey League. It'd be hard to argue if you watch Chicago with any regularity.
And the fact you get away from Taves' line, you might be seeing the second checking unit, the second pair of defensemen, slightly better matchups that Patrick Kane could take advantage of as well.
Well, we all know what he can do with the puck, but it's amazing how the puck finds him, as it did on the rebound for the second Chicago goal. But Vancouver gets a big one from Zach Kassian to close the gap. Here's Chalmerson at the line. He'll tee it up and fire. And that one looked like it got through. Santorelli with a dish to the left wing to get it out of there, and Higgins sends it deep. Canucks are changing as we approach the midway mark of the second. Here's Henrik down in behind the Chicago net. In a battle, gets some help from Daniel. And Bollig gets back there to flip it out. Zach Kassian with the goal, and there's a constant debate in Vancouver about who should be playing with the Sedins, and John Tortorella doesn't want Kassian to ride shotgun with the Sedins, but a lot of people wonder if he wouldn't be a good fit in the absence of Alex Burrows. Here's Henrik inside the line. Jannik Hansen in that position right now with the Sedins. Sends it back to Bieksa. His shot off a Blackhawk ride. Daniel to Henrik. Back up top and across for Alberts. Here's Alberts trying to sift it through, and Hansen for the whack at the bouncing puck. Versteeg got it, and he'll play it out to center ice. Another push here by Vancouver, and now the Sedins will check out. Vancouver with a 10-4 shot advantage in the second period. 10-3 shots for Chicago in the first, and another one by Booth will be stopped by Raanta. It's 2-1 Blackhawks here midway through the second.
Last save by Antti Raanta here. David Booth on the wrister, drives the front of the net. He actually got up, shaking that hand off, his blocker hand, flexing it on his way to the bench. And the new backup right here, Jason LaBarbera, recently added to the Chicago Blackhawks as they have Corey Crawford's out, Nikolai Khabibulin out, and so far we're having a nice little dialogue during this game as he is admiring the way his new team plays, a far cry from what he saw at Edmonton some nights.
Looks like he wants a headset.
He's ready.
Here's David Booth trying to center. Shot is snared by Raanta with some traffic in front. Brad Richardson trying to cause a little disturbance in front of the Blackhawk net. Well, the defensive core, Mike, has been depleted in Vancouver as the goaltending has been in Chicago.
He knows where to find the camera. He knows what's going on. He loves it. we were laughing early. Came up for warm-up. He's got all his Edmonton gear on, his Edmonton mask with a little sticker, Chicago Blackhawk sticker you probably buy for 45 cents at the store. That's all he's got right now available. As he just got here today, we saw him jump out of a cab, and that's the nature when you come to a new team. You're in the hotel, you don't have your car, you don't have your clothes, you're just trying to figure out what's going on. And the most comfortable time you have is when you're actually at the rink.
Here come the Canucks. Shot by Dolpe, and a glove save by Raanta. And he's probably more familiar with a lot of the Canucks. It's certainly Roberto Luongo than he is with most of his new teammates.
Yeah, a lot of guys came over from Vancouver, said hello. Roberto Luongo and him had a nice little chat during warm-up as the goaltenders union remains strong, no matter who team you're playing for. And Roberto Luongo also on the other side of me, another guy who doesn't find himself over on the bench very often, but happy to have a night off after a late one in Dallas that they got in about 2 in the morning. And he knew coming in it was going to be a tough night for his team. Although he enjoys the challenge of playing against Chicago.
He's not tweeting down there, is he?
No phones allowed. Torch doesn't like the phones during the games.
That wouldn't go over.
No.
Well, this Christmas Eve, the holiday tradition continues with SportsCenter Year in Review, presented by PokerStars.net. Jen and Dutch count down the top 10 highlights, lowlights, sound bites, and sports stories of 2013. Tune in this Christmas Eve, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on TSN. 8:08 remaining here in the second period. Patrick Kane made it 2-0. Zach Kassian scoring for the Canucks to get them within 1. Chris Tanev on his 24th birthday, playing it ahead, and Kessler looks left wing, finds Higgins, back across it goes, and that's an easy stop for Raanta, and we'll check in with Rod Smith.
You can sense a more positive attitude on the Vancouver bench as now they are engaged in this game after that Kassian goal. And right now, shooting the Blackhawks 14-4 here in the second period.
The longer you stay in it, the more you forget about
exactly right
how tired you might have been when the evening started. Marcus Kruger lofting it in, bouncing it to Bollig. Big stop, Eddie Lack, as Brandon Bollig crashed in on that little alley-oop pass from Marcus Kruger. Big stop for the young goaltender. Now Alberts diving, slowed it up, and then has to retreat in a hurry. Fourth line for Chicago can do some damage offensively. 11 goals between the fourth liners. And although that doesn't sound like a lot, that's a pretty good contribution. Not many teams can boast that.
Not only the goals, but the trustworthiness of Kruger. Do not need to hide that line in any situation.
Kane checks back in with Versteeg at the point. Duncan Keith into the slot, knocked away from Handzus. Dale Weiss was nearly away. Have to be wary of this guy. Kane again with a dish to Versteeg, knocked away by Alberts. And now flipped ahead, and David Booth chasing after it. The other 7 on the ice. Seabrook beats him to it. And now Kane to Versteeg, dropping it back. 88 to Duncan Keith. Keith in deep, looks to center, and it bounced on Versteeg, loose in front of the net. Now Keith after it again. Puck bounces to him. And Kane quickly into the corner. There's Versteeg. He is ducked. Garrison's going to go off. As the Canucks play it, Jason Garrison will be penalized for the trip with 6:07 left in the second.
You see Kane, Versteeg start exchanging, throwing the puck around the offense zone, and Jason Garrison here just gets caught on the chop Versteeg with the mid crossover. Knocks him over, easy trick to call. And just prior to that, here you see Bolic's chance. And tries to go all the way across the front of the net. Not able to pull it wide enough to get it around to Eddie Lack. He's moving a little too quickly. Too close to Lack there to finish the move to the backhand side.
So Taves, Kane, Shaw, Keith, and Sharp. Duncan Keith leading the Hawks in assists with 29 on the year. In fact, between he and Seabrook, 51 assists between that defensive pair. Battle there by Tanev, and he's able to split the defense and send it down the ice. So one thing you notice about Chicago, that's that old adage, best players have to be your best players, and in Chicago they are just about every night. All of the big names are red hot at the moment, including Keith. Shot right on, and the rebound got by Shaw, and the Canucks are able to clear.
It's amazing when you watch them play live or just look at their stat sheet. Look at their big six: Sharp, Taves, Kane, Hossa, Keith, and Seabrook. And every night those guys bring it. Every night they're on the score sheet and lead their team, and that's what makes this team as good as it is.
There's a guy trying to break through as one of the top guns, Brandon Saad, who's been up and down the lineup with injuries. And Saad, dangerous in his own right, a candidate for the U.S. Olympic team. Comes across to Seabrook. It'll be played back to Leddy, and his shot knocked down in front of the net. It'll be Daniel Sedin taking over. Wires it off the glass, but Seabrook holds it in. Got it to Hossa. Leddy once again with a half minute to go in the power play. Seabrook, and the shot is blocked, and Alberts will clear. So Nick Leddy back to organize one more power play attack with Garrison in the box. 12 seconds to go. Seabrook sends it in. Versteeg on the far side. Tanev lost his footing. Versteeg centers, but Saad can't field the pass. And now Tanev has trouble with the bouncing puck. Penalized player Garrison has returned. One shot for the Hawks on the power play. Unable to add to the lead.
Almost
And
too
yes,
many men out there. He's got 3 defensemen in his mass confusion.
And do they have them?
And they got them.
They do have them.
But you know what? We don't have to rewind that because they do have 3D. They might only have 2 forwards.
Joel Quenneville upset. I looked down at their real players. It looked like 7 or 8 were on the ice at one point. And after a kill, it'll be a power play Vancouver when we come back.
Some confusion at the end of the power play. You can do the math right there. There's 6 guys for Chicago on the ice, couple changing, but still way too early in the jump. In fact, one more jumps to make it a full 7 on the ice at one point. And yet Joel Quenneville, ever the coach, thought he should debate the merits of that too many men call. And you have to be sharp at the end of power plays. Lines are not your normal rotation. Call out your changes, and some confusion, certainly on the defense where they had 3 guys out there playing the blue line.
So a chance for the Canucks to get even here late in the second period. As Kruger takes the shot, and that stings Dan Hamhuis. Hamhuis in some difficulty down there and has to play the puck. He is in some discomfort, and now we'll get control. We'll see if he defers or he's going to tough it out and lead the rush.
It's power play. Always want to tough it out. Power play.
Yeah, don't want to go up now.
That's right.
Daniel drops it. Hamhuis will send it in deep. There's Henrik. Lost his footing. Garrison in after it. Canucks on their 3rd power play of the game. They've had 3 shots in each of their first 2, but have yet to register the power play goal. Pass in front for Kessler, and a good check there by the always defensively reliable Jonathan Taves. And Hamhuis still out there, so none the worse for wear. Santorelli has checked in with the goal scorer Cassian, and they go to work. Here's Zach Cassian down the right side. Santorelli plays it around, and now left along the boards for Higgins. Leaned on by Seabrook, and now Seabrook knocks down Santorelli. It'll come back to the point, out of the reach of Bieksa, and out to center. Kevin Bieksa, Higgins trying to get it over the line, and the play is offside with 30 seconds left.
John Tortorella with a short fuse for that power play as He immediately rolls. The Sedin's back over the bench. 30 more seconds late here in the second period, trying to get his number one unit one more time. But John Tortorella's been coaching hard tonight. He's been trying to get his guys engaged in this game, trying to be encouraged, push and prod. And what would be a tired group to stay in this game, stay with it, as they're just down one.
Interesting comment before the game to Farhan Lalji about these points showing up in April. If you can steal some hard-earned points in a tough building under tough circumstances, they can pay big dividends for you.
The group is not the kind of team anymore in the Western Conference that can afford to throw away any games, as they are down near the playoff bubble.
Good outlet there by Saad. Away goes Smith. Bickle back on the ice out of the box. Smith swoops in. Oh, what a great stop that was by Eddie Lack. It would have been a highlight reel goal for Ben Smith, and a penalty on that dash by the young winger. And the Hawks will get a power play.
What an effort by Ben Smith. Bickle jumps out of the box, turning a 3-on-2. Hendricks gets caught playing at that. Look at Eddie Lack stretch it out as Ben Smith goes all the way across the net. And those long legs, doesn't even have to really make an awkward move. Just stay with it, stay with it. One extra shove and keeps it flat so there's no 5-hole available. What a save, and a big one here. Just a couple minutes left in the second period.
So Kessler taken down on the chop, but it came after the brilliant stop by Eddie Lack.
This is where that added height, able to stretch it out. You see that second effort, little shove to get that bit more across to take it away.
Well, they are the #1 penalty kill unit in the league, but you don't want to give Chicago too many chances. Duncan Keith. Now Taves. Under 90 seconds left in the period. Canucks trying to keep it at least a 2-1 game. That was the third goal, the backbreaker last night in the second period by Dallas. That made it 3-1. Keith and Sharp exchange passes at the line. Duncan Keith, a shot, and
that got Shaw right in the midsection.
And Shaw looks like he will hit off.
1 minute.
You want to be on the power play with all those guys, you got to hang in front of the net. You're going to take some like that.
Now Leddy leads the rush, hosts a bump by Bieksa. Cam Hughes fires it around, and this one will slide 200 feet with 40 seconds left in the period. And now aggressive checking there by Higgins to slow Leddy up. Half minute remaining in the period. Seabrook over the line. In deep for Brandon Saad. Bieksa intercepts that. Up off the glass and out of play with 23.7 seconds left in the second.
Andrew Shaw gets a lot of credit for how hot this power play is running because of his net front presence. He hangs in there, and you're engaged with the defenseman behind you, Tanev, and he can't get out of the way as Keith tries to go short side, and he just gets right in the middle of Andrew Shaw. Not a lot of pads. He's checking the damage right there, and you have hardly anything on the front of your chest, down in your abdominal area as far as protection goes. And just trying to shake that one off, but
that'll leave a mark. Tanev off that face-off win sends it right down on Runta. And the Hawks have time for one last rush in the second. Great stretch pass. Versteeg is inside the line, sends it across out of the reach of Saad. Canucks will be wise to keep it right down in that corner, and Garrison has that plan in mind as the horn sounds to end the second period. Canucks outshot Chicago 14-7, and through 40 minutes, it's 2-1 for the Blackhawks. Here's Rod Smith. Yes, Rod, the Canucks are hanging around in this game, and one of the reasons they are within reach of Chicago, great penalty killing once again, the #1 penalty kill unit against a hot power play, Mike, but they've done the job.
They certainly have, relying on the special teams getting it done, at least as far as the penalty kill go. And you can see why they are the very top of the league. They win all the little battles that you need to win to have a successful penalty kill. And when they get the puck, they do a very good job of getting first-time clears and not giving any group, but especially one as good as Chicago, the chance to retain possession and tire out defenders. And of course, you also need some courage and conviction to block shots, not letting the puck get down to Eddie Lack. And in 14 seconds, the Blackhawks will be 0 for 3 on the night. And despite having scored 14 goals in the power play in the last 10 games, have only gotten 1 shot on goal on the power play tonight. And so the 1-goal deficit is in large part because of the good work of the penalty killers of Vancouver.
So here we go, third period. Mike Santorelli and Jonathan Toews on the face-off, pulled back into the Chicago zone. Shots even at 17 apiece after a slow Vancouver start. See if the Canucks can rally here against a tough team to play here in Chicago. Jonathan Toews with it in the zone. There's Hossa along the boards. Watched there by Hamhuis, who tries to pick his pocket, but Hossa gets it back. And Hamhuis knocks him down. Up ahead, Higgins at center. Sharp over to claim that puck. But Vancouver at full strength. And Sharp for the backhand wide. Out of the reach of Toews and Daniel Sedin up to Santorelli. Over the line, Vancouver to the attack. Santorelli, great pass. Bieksa shot, and that's off target. Mike Santorelli's got it off the boards. Looks for Bieksa again. That shot off the skeet of Duncan Keith. And the Hawks flip it ahead. Brandon Bullock with the pass along the boards to Kruger, and now Kruger follows up. Marcus Kruger from the corner. Backhands it in front, knocked back to the corner where Kruger tried to center again. And Daniel Sedin plays it out, and here comes Hansen with Henrik. Hansen with a nice move. Can he get a shot away? Got Henrik in front, and it's swept away. Now a shot, and that one blocked. Moving up was Weber, but he couldn't find the puck. And Chicago will skate it out. There's Ben Smith who had that great dash in the second period. This time, not getting by Jason Garrison. Versteeg, who opened the scoring, in deep. Battle along the boards, and David Booth is able to bounce it down. And this will slide nice and waved as it was Cassian who got there first, at least to the hash marks, to wipe out the offside. Cassian looked surprised by that decision. It looked like he was arguing.
He's trying to debate. No, you got the call you're looking for.
That's what you wanted.
Still some little getting used to this hybrid icing.
There's Hanzus centering pass. And the Hawks are on it. It'll be flipped deep by Roosevelt. And there's Keane on the far side. Most dangerous player on the ice tonight. Number 88. Out there with Hanzus and Versteeg. Yannick Weber bouncing it in past Ronta, and Roosevelt back to pick it up. Hawks are changing, so Roosevelt wants to buy some time till everybody's in position. Offside, and there's Eddie Lack out of the net to play the puck. Little touch pass, and Santorelli's away. They'll drop it off, and Higgins with a blast, and Ronta's got that in this battle of backup goaltenders tonight.
And there's one way to get through the neutral zone clogging in the Vancouver Canucks, and Marcus Kruger's figured out how to do it. The old flipper. See, a great one there to Bullock to spring him almost on a breakaway the second period. And then here in the third, doesn't like any options. Flip it up in the air over his head and let Bullock skate right into it. And it's pretty good hands out there to open up the lob wedge to tee him up for Brandon Bullock.
Duncan Keith ahead. Chris Tanev at center. Breaks up the pass intended for Sharp. And the play is offside at the line.
This duo of Tanev and Hamhuis have done a nice job tonight. John Tortorella is trying to get them out there against Jonathan Toews as much as they can. Patrick Sharp, who is as hot as anyone. And Tanev, whose game is growing defensively. Leaps and bounds this year under John Tortorella. And Hamhuis has done a nice job not giving this team much time, this line much time in the offensive zone.
Here's a blocker stop by Lack on a shot by Patrick Sharp. And Sharp's been hot. 5 goals in 6 games, 8 in his last 11. The Thunder Bay product has the puck. Centers in front to Toews with a whack at it. And Eddie Lack paddled down, made the stop, and the puck comes out to center. Well, the Canucks have got the goaltending they had hoped for tonight from their backup, who Farhan mentioned was not at all going to, at least didn't look like he was going to be overwhelmed. There's a long lead pass. That's not going to be icing as well, and a bad angle shot by Daniel Sedin right on. Out at center, the puck bounces on Ben Smith. Bieksa ahead, Daniel into the zone, and Chalmerson gets back in a hurry. They'll be teammates at the Olympics, the Sedins and Nick Chalmerson, who plays it up over the glass, and that's going to be a penalty against Chicago. So Chalmerson got the wedge out. It got too high. And Vancouver will get their 4th power play of the night.
Big opportunity here for Vancouver as Chalmerson loses control of this one. It's on his backhand. And he feels a little pressure coming to the inside, and up and over it goes. And not only do they have the power play, but one of the best penalty killers for Chicago in the box.
Henrik Sedin digs in, wins that faceoff. Cleanly back to the point. Hamhuis walks the line. It'll be Daniel playing it down low. Kessler tried the back pass. That's denied. In deep was Garrison to come up with the puck. 4 Canucks were in deep to win that puck battle. Daniel's got Kessler down low. Return pass now to the point, and it got away from Hamhuis and back into the Canuck zone. Hamhuis will drop it off. Here's Henrik. Kessler with speed, knocked away by Keith. Hamhuis to the left flank, and now he'll get it back. And Garrison fires right on loose puck, and Kessler unable to find the rebound, knocked away by Duncan Keith, and the Hawks clear. So first good chance on this power play as the Canucks press for the equalizer. Daniel in the corner, Henrik behind the net, Kessler looking for room in front. That pass centering was knocked away, and now Hamhuis. Dan Hamhuis being tracked by Hossa. Garrison fires it, and Ranta got a piece of that, and it ricochets out of play.
One good look for Vancouver on that power play, and it starts with getting the puck in the middle of the triangle, kick it over to Garrison, and he brings it in. Look at the stretch by Ranta there as the puck's sitting on the side wall, and John Tortorella would not be described as stoic behind the bench. He's going to let you know always what he's thinking, what he's feeling, and the little conference there is whether or not that deflected off a Chicago player to go over the glass or straight out for Vancouver. And apparently it was off the back of the net straight out, so the faceoff goes outside.
Canucks lose the argument, so the faceoff outside the Hawk blue line with 44 seconds remaining in Chalmerson's delay of game penalty. Fired back in by Yannick Weber. Nice kick save by Bieksa at the line to hold the zone. Now he'll send it across. Here's Weber, who's got a good shot, and he was looking for a deflection there. It got by Santorelli and all the way out. Bieksa chased back by Kruger with 20 seconds remaining. In the power play, again, the Hawks have struggled all season long killing penalties. Ranked 28th in the league. 4 Canucks in deep once again. It comes out in front. Bieksa. And now Weber dishing it in behind the net. Been intercepted. Again, knocked down by Bieksa. Penalty over. Zach Kassian on the right flank. Sliding it through. There's Chalmerson out of the box to make a defensive play. Kassian again. The Vancouver goal scorer sends it to the corner. Higgins creating a little room for Santorelli. Now Weber in deep. Back to Higgins, who let it get by him. Bieksa moves up. Canucks applying pressure here at Santorelli. In front, Higgins a whack, and another one. Can't get it on Antti. And finally, Chicago will get it out through center. They need a change and are going to get one. Kassian held up at the line by Bickle. Now Kassian moves forward. And back to get it is Andrew Shaw. Nick Leddy and Roosevelt get things organized, and now Chicago advancing. It'll be Shaw over the line. Leddy driving in deep. And a hit there by Bickle on the forecheck, but away goes Vancouver. Brad Richardson in deep. And that shot is off a stick and out of play. It remains 2-1 Chicago here. 7:27 gone in the third. Two contrasting teams tonight. The Canucks have been stingy defensively. This is the highest powered offense in the league. And look at the balance of scoring for Chicago, Mike, from lines 1 through 4.
And you see that kind of depth, and it allows the coaching staff so much comfort to roll their lines, get everyone involved in the game. Don't have to worry about matchups on the road. Part of the reason why Chicago is such a strong road team. And it also allows you to withstand any injuries a little bit better because you have guys that clearly can produce offense at the bottom units that can slide up if need be.
And with the 2 goals by Kane's line tonight, the second Chicago line, here's Tanev breaking a stick, and he's got to get to the bench and get a new cue, but the puck is arriving on his side of the ice, so he stays out there now. Falls down, and the pass picked off by Hamhuis, and they'll work it out, and Tanev does buy some time to get to the bench. I'm going to say Kane's 2 goals mean the second line for Chicago has more goals than any of the Vancouver lines. The Sedin line, which actually has been outscored by the Kessler line, so hard to identify who's number 1 in Vancouver right now.
Which one's which too, but by default you always go Sedin number 1, but not the way they've been playing lately.
Here comes the top line for Chicago, and the sharp shot is stopped by Eddie Lack. What doesn't kill you makes you a fortune, from executive producer Ridley Scott. A dramatic 3-night event. Klondike premieres January 20th through the 22nd, only on Discovery.
You mentioned earlier, Chris, just if you hang around like Vancouver is right now, they're still right in this game, not much going on, and they probably would take this.
Here's Versteeg coming out of the corner, driving to the net. Doesn't get the shot through. Keane trying to get it back as he battles along the boards with Santorelli. And the Canucks are able to move it out, and ahead for Higgins. Got by him, and Seabrook back to get it for Chicago. Andrew Albert's unable to knock it down at the line. Now plays it back in. And offside is the call.
Dangerous play by Andrew Albert. You talk about him knocking the puck down at the blue line. He's got to see there's no right winger in front of him. That's because Patrick Kane was out of the far blue line. And Alberts is up there trying to hold the blue of his own. If it gets by him, it's a 2-on-1. Yeah, that's another one of those reads that when you haven't played in a while, seemingly things that are second nature might be a little more difficult than you'd think.
10th back-to-back road games for Vancouver on the year, only Los Angeles with more. They've had 11. Of course, the Pacific Division teams, the tougher road schedule. Booth can't break through. And how about Chicago's record? Everybody talks about how good the Pacific Division is. The Hawks 8-0-2 as Saad tries to bust in. Garrison stuck with him, and now the puck slides out to center. Here's Yannick Weber up for Cassian. And it comes back to Cassian. He's got a wait trapped inside the line. And he'll work it back. Vancouver in the midst of a change as we approach the midway mark of the third period.
Interesting stuff going on the benches right now. John Tortorella eyeballing the Chicago bench, seeing who's up next, so we can make the appropriate call and gets Kessler out here against Taves.
And a quick turn here by Higgins back into Blackhawk ice. There's Santorelli in deep. In the corner, Higgins supports. Kessler after it against Seabrook on the far side. That pass is picked off by Higgins. He falls down, and the Hawks are able to clear it. There's Sharp on the move, and he is cut off as it slides down to Eddie Lack. Hustling back was Tanev. The puck comes out in front. And Vancouver to the line. Does come out, but now Santorelli's away. Up for Higgins over the line. With Santorelli. That pass got away from the winger. Kept in there by Hamhuis, who hit Higgins in behind the net with that high shot. And it's flipped into the Chicago bench. Now under 10 minutes left in the third. Still 2-1 Hawks.
The Chicago Blackhawks have been on a torrid run with their power play. 10 straight games with a goal, and they've used that to open things up and get a lot of victories over that stretch. And that's on the line right now as they've come up against the #1 penalty kill in the league. And so far, it's the defense beating the offense. They're 0 for 3 and in a one-goal game.
Big reason the Canucks have been able to hang around in this game and pushing for the equalizer here in the third period. 21,966 on hand, and not as loud as it can get here. Here's a shot that ricochets. Daniel scores, and the game is tied 2-2 on a tying goal from Daniel Sedin.
You said it, Chris. Just hanging around, waiting for a break, waiting for a chance, and they get just that here as a deflected puck comes right to Daniel Sedin, who does a great job getting it up to his stick as the shot is initially blocked, but Daniel selling out to get the puck back onto his blade. The excess puck kicks over to him. That's good footwork right there, up to his stick and past Raanta. Get a better view of it here. That's a quick reaction. Actually kicks it forward, handles it from backhand to forehand, and puts it in.
12th of the year for Daniel Sedin. Bieksa and Henrik draw the assists at 10:48. Just the second goal of the last 10 for Daniel. And his 5th in 22 games, but a big one here to get them on even terms at the United Center. Under 9 minutes to play. And now can they put the vice grip on that high-powered Chicago offense? Seabrook weaving through center, and he'll play it back for Duncan Keith. Well, right off the top of the show, you mentioned the Sedins. There's been some heat on their lack of scoring of late, and they come up with a big one here. And now Hansen's in. It'll be played to Henrik deep. In behind for the goal scorer, Daniel. Henrik along the boards. Looking for Bieksa once again. Across for Garrison in the middle. Daniel to the net. Raanta took a look behind it. Still loose, but they get a whistle as the puck stays out. And now an airing of grievances in around the Festivus holiday.
Feats of strength going on right now as Jannik Hansen is right involved in the crease. Gets a tip on this point shot. It's looking all by himself, and he tips this one, and it's dribbling through Raanta. And then anytime you poke and get after the goalie, you're going to draw a crowd, and Hansen does just that. A nice play by Daniel, sliding up top, getting the puck down to the front of the net, and you see that it's still loose.
In the skates of Keith, yeah.
And Hansen jar it loose right there, and wouldn't have counted anyways. Can't poke the goalie's pads out from under him like that. But it's a good follow-up shift after the tying goal by Vancouver.
Now Kessler comes out, wins a face-off. Tanev sends it to the corner. Higgins is there. And along the boards, Bickle hands it away to Santorelli at the point. The shot changed direction again. Loose in front of the Hawks on their heels.
Penalty coming up,
able to clear.
And I think it might be Kessler for the cross-check in front of the net.
A hit there on Hamhuis by Bickle as the whistle sounds.
Bickle had no idea. Mike Haspras in the far end makes the call. And it's a trip. Yeah. And Kessler's trying to get off the ice, but it's him. And you see a little push there in the back, and then there it is, poking the heels. And that's a tough spot to take one. All the way in front of their own other team's net, battling for a loose puck. No advantage gained, and John Tortorella begs to differ with the call.
Well, you mentioned the power play streak on the line tonight. 10 consecutive games. They have not scored in 11 consecutive games on the power play since 1990.
Ryan Kessler, 2 minutes for dribbling at 12:08. Vancouver penalty call number 17, Kessler.
Keith, Sharp, Taves, Hossa, and Keane once again. Check that. By Hossa, Andrew Shaw, who will play in front of the net. Santorelli with a near steal, and now does come up with it. Chris Tanev's got the puck. Looking for Santorelli. Brad Richardson also out there. Now it's Taves trying to move it down into the offensive zone. Comes loose for Sharp. And that one hops, and he's got to scramble back with Santorelli on his tail. And he'll turn back, and the Canucks want a change of their penalty-killing tandem. Allows Taves to set it up. Here's Keane. Back to the captain. And a pass out of the reach of Duncan Keith back down into Chicago ice. Just one shot on the first 3 power plays. Nothing to show so far here into the second minute. That one near the side of the net. Bieksa gets it ahead, and Hansen gets it out. Strength against strength. Seabrook ahead. There's Hossa. He'll send it around the boards to the far side. Saad looking for it. Versteeg's got it. Now Hossa banks it back to Seabrook. Hossa looks for Lenny. A one-timer right on, and Eddie Lack Saad all the way. Puck to the line. Henrik held up, but he does get it out. And now Daniel to work. And he'll slide it deep with 10 seconds remaining in the Kessler Minor. Under 6 to go in the third period. Hossa will bounce it in. Garrison around, just one shot on that power play. 2 power play shots in 4 opportunities tonight. Nick Hjalmarsson trying to thread it through. Up moves Johnny Aduya. Garrison meets him. And now Santorelli's away with Kessler. Over the line, slowed up Santorelli by Hjalmarsson. And along the boards, Hjalmarsson worked it back out. Here's Kessler following up. Daniels in the corner, watched by Saad. It'll come back to Alberts. A shot whipped wide. And Johnny Aduya up for Saad, and a backhand out to center. Another one of those flips down the ice, and Bieksa played it to the line, but not out. Bollig bumped along the boards by Bieksa, and he wins another board battle to come up with a puck. On for the first 2 Chicago goals, but instrumental on the equalizer here for Vancouver in the third. Kevin Bieksa. Hawks are out. Bollig a long shoot in wide of the net. Tanev by Brandon Bollig. St. Louis area product. Hossa gets a hit on Alberts, and that shot bouncing just wide of the target. It'll be kept in by Keith. Up the boards for Taves. Couple of hits there by the Hawks as they try and generate a little momentum and get it back. Patrick Sharp comes back to take that away. Now Keith out of the reach of Sharp, and that is an icing call against Chicago.
And it's been a quiet crowd. It's been a quiet team for Chicago for much of the second half of this game. Brandon Bollig trying to change that as he gives Chris Tanev a rough ride. Clean, just the way you want your forecheck to get in there. And
that's twice tonight. Birthday greetings from Bollig to Tanev.
He's saying hello. They're getting older now. They'll finish you off. And Bollig's really evolved to a pretty good fourth liner here in Chicago beyond just the fighting. Added some skill to his game. He's got a few goals this year and even kills penalties on occasion.
Shots even at 22 apiece. The scoreboard even at 2 apiece. And down to 4 minutes remaining in the third period. Canucks battling for an all-important point or even 2 here. And still with a chance to even this road trip that Keane roughed up along the boards, does hold it in. Now Leddy is after it, and a play by Bickle to Shaw. Here's Shaw, and a toe stop there by Lack, and a good one. Nick Leddy trying to keep it in, but now Santorelli is loose. A left wing feed. Kessler with Higgins. Here's the drop and the pass back across. Out of the reach of Santorelli and a counter by Kane. 3 Hawks through center. Patrick Kane over the line. Shaw across and he missed Rosabal, who had jumped up in the rush, and now it's Santorelli back at the end of a shift. He'll get to the red line and dump it in. Nick Leddy. And now across, Rosabal and Versteeg, and it's Versteeg who will take it, dump it in. Kruger after it against Hamhuis. Kruger has it knocked away by Hamhuis at the line, kept in. Versteeg, a little knuckleball handled by Eddie Lack, who's had a good night. Canucks and Hawks are tied at 2. The performer of the game brought to you by GMC Sierra.
And this was an easy one, as Patrick Kane once again has been putting on a clinic with the puck on his stick. Whenever he gets it, all of a sudden, everything seems to slow down. Everything seems to open up as he works his magic, dancing around the offense zone, gets the assist on the first goal by Versteeg. He scores the second one as well, and he has been by far the most dangerous offensive player on the ice in this game.
Shaw on this faceoff against Brad Richardson in the Vancouver zone, and now Shaw is waived. So it'll be Brandon Saad. Ryan Bickle on the left wing. He missed 15 games with a knee injury. Bickle just back in the Chicago lineup after that great Stanley Cup playoff run for him. Seabrook up to Shaw, and it'll bounce down to Lack, and he elects to hold on. Another faceoff in the Canuck zone.
And it's the consternation of the coaches on Vancouver with the whistle there, as Eddie Lack has had a very good night here. Kept Vancouver in it early when they were getting dominated in that first period. And just like he was before the game, he's been calm, he's been unflappable. You think about that huge save on Ben Smith late in the second. And now he's got his team in position to get at least 1 point out of this game.
Canucks with a slight edge in the face-off circle tonight, 23-21. Two of the best face-off teams in the league. And Seabrook back to get it. Seabrook takes a hit from Kessler, but got it ahead, and here comes Taves. Patrick Sharp, and that shot off BX a high. This looked like that puck might have been out of play. Like a couple of the players slowed up, but play continues, and Keith back in his own zone. 2 minutes left here in the third. Canucks 2 minutes away from a comeback to register at least a point. Hossa steered that towards the net, and now here comes Vancouver. Over the line, Daniel to Henrik and back on the backhand right on Antti Raanta. To the line, and Tanev unable to hold it in as Hossa sends it out. On the left wing off Daniel, back in deep. Hansen charging in on the forecheck. Nice outlet pass for Kruger from Chalmerson. And on the left wing, speeding down that flank is Versteeg. And Tanev played him well defensively. It'll go to Kruger. Henrik tracks him. Shadowing Kruger. Versteeg, a quick shot wide. It'll be Chalmerson moving up, takes a bump from Hansen. Hawks are on it, in behind the net for Kruger. Doesn't work, and Hamhuis will send it down the ice, and they're going to wave icing off as Oduya could have reached it. Into the final minute of regulation time. It was 2-0 Chicago, but Cassian and Daniel Sedin have scored goals to erase that 2-goal Chicago lead. Canucks almost, or check that, the Blackhawks almost unbeatable when they've scored the first goal or led after 1 and 2 periods this year. Vancouver trying to put a blemish in those stats. Here comes Saad. And now Shaw, his shot. It went high off Garrison and went sprawling. And a race for this puck. Here's Daniel down the ice. He's got a man in the open. Shot for Henrik, and he fired it wide. What a chance that was. Daniel to Henrik, and back comes Saad. An inside move on Tanev. Young Saad in the corner. And the horn sounds, and the Canucks, Mike, had one last look But they do have a point in the bank and will go to extra time looking for another.
And they had a 3-on-2 here. Daniel gets a puck after Seabrook had fallen down. Tees up Henrik, who's got the far side, and he just misses. Outside the post, gets it through Keith, who plays it actually pretty well for a 3-on-1. And the Vancouver Canucks almost got it in regulation, but Joel Quenneville won't be happy with the way that his team played the last 2 periods, not able to dictate the kind of pace they wanted, not be able to turn any pucks over, and certainly the power play not effective. John Tortorella's got to be very pleased with the way his team came out and battled through this game. Understandably sluggish to start, but worked their way back in it, stayed with it, stayed within the system, and got a goal from the Sedins late to tie.
NHL on TSN Overtime, brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
They're still going strong late in the night. They're excited for a little extra hockey. And this is where the system and structure of Vancouver will be much harder to continue on bottling up the Blackhawks, as the 4-on-4 hockey should suit some of the forwards the Blackhawks have to offer in challenging Eddie Lack.
Same script for Lack as that first start in St. Louis. A tired team goes in against a tough St. Louis club, and he ended up winning that game in overtime.
Antti Raanta, one of the very few goalies that looks small in the net. Compared to Eddie Lack, the other end, 6'7". Antti Raanta is maybe 6 feet tall, but a wispy 160 pounds or so. And
Mike, it'll be interesting to see what Vancouver does with this, how they approach overtime. John Tortorella mentioned the shootout woes of his team that bit them again in Minnesota. Whether or not they'll be more aggressive here, take some chances in overtime, trying to avoid a shootout. They get a first chance from Higgins on that rush by Kessler. Back comes Sharp the other way, working around Tanev. Sharp still with it. Taves in front, and Tanev recovers to take it away. Hounded by Taves, he turns it over to Sharp. And now the return pass, and Hamhuis covered Jonathan Taves to deny the pass. And that puck flips along the line. It stayed in. Got up on its end and did not leave the zone. But now the Canucks have some room to work it ahead. Tanev for Daniel Sedin, who has forced this extra session. An assist from Henrik, and now a pass that is a souvenir maybe for Mike Johnson.
Well, Luongo with a quick glove took it from me.
Wow.
He's still in the game, and even on the bench, he gets the Lou chance going on and salutes the crowd with it. Finally ready to grab one here.
He wants to watch his work.
Come ahead.
There it is.
Look at it. Taking it right away from me, just like when we played. It's not the first time he's taken one from his glove away from me.
So the first minute of overtime, and the first chance went to the Canucks. A close-in opportunity for Chris Higgins. There's Kruger going to the bench, didn't see the puck. And a little slow. The next guy up for Chicago.
The importance of face-offs in the overtime. Kruger out there to take a neutral zone face-off, win it, and change.
Here comes Hossa speeding in. Into the middle for Kane. Just a little more ice room for Patrick Kane. Johnny Aduya stepped up. He tries to center. Hossa swoops in to pick it up. Centers. Kane can't get the shot through. And it's kicked away by Bieksa. Now short outlet pass, and Bieksa sends it ahead, and Garrison leads the rush. Over the line is Henrik. Here comes Vancouver, and that shot by Weber off the side of the net. Now picked up by Henrik. Try to force it through. That doesn't work. And Hossa, he's got Kane loose. Possible 2-on-1. And getting back in a hurry to make the defensive play is Yannick Weber. Just in the nick of time. Both teams make changes as Hamhuis patiently waits. Hansen out there now along with Santorelli. Hamhuis and Tanev. Goes Tanev over the line. Walks there by Leddy. Santorelli with the move. He's taken down, and Brandon Saad up with the puck with Shaw over the line. Here's Saad curling back, tried to center. That's off a Canuck, and now Vancouver's away. Santorelli with Hansen. Mike Santorelli over the line, curls and tries to duck away from the checking of Roosevelt unsuccessfully. Saad back, and he's got some nifty moves. He's watched a few of the Patrick Kane moves, but at the end of a shift, he just cruises off. Back in, Ben Smith gets a turn in overtime with under 2 minutes left with Chris Versteeg. Versteeg in front, and a hot shot just went high. Big shot by Duncan Keith, and now Vancouver will move forward. Bieksa after it. He chips it by Keith into the zone, and Seabrook will go back as Bieksa peels off and heads to the Vancouver bench. 90 seconds still available in overtime. Jonathan Toews to work. Here comes Captain Sirius dropping it off for Sharp, and that doesn't work, and Vancouver will come back. Henrik and Daniel. And now ahead, it's Santorelli working in. Mike Santorelli for the win! Off the post, and it banked back to Rutta as Santorelli looked skyward. Thought he had the game winner.
And you want to talk about aggressive. That's 3 forwards out there for Vancouver. The Sedins and Santorelli along with Dan Hamhuis. And he comes late with speed, splitting the defense. Seabrook gets caught mid-pivot. Ends up going back short side and just can't create the angle. There's like a little room there to tuck it side. But moving too fast off the side of the net. Very close for Santorelli ending this one.
4-game point streak, 8 points in his last 6, 12 in his last 11, and what a chance to win it for the Canucks. He'll take the draw in the Chicago zone, and there's another face-off win for Marcus Kruger, who's really worked on that part of his game, and he is 12th in the league in the face-off circle.
1 minute remaining in the overtime. 1 minute.
So final minute of overtime, and look out, trouble for Hamhuis, and from his back he swept it away. Hossa was looking for a break. Now Rick wide, it's Kane turning on Hamhuis, but lost the puck. Along the boards, Hossa trying to get it back, and it's stolen by Daniel. He worked past Kane, and now he moved forward. Here come the Sedins over the line. Henrik took the drop, but it's offside with 30.5 on the clock.
Some desperate moments for Dan Hamhuis, the only defenseman out there backing up, and with the old heel pick, he's going down, no idea where it is. He's got to get it out of there as it's Marian Hossa looking for a breakaway. And Dan Hamhuis has been very good tonight's game defensively.
Now Seabrook. Canucks have Kessler and Higgins out for this final overtime shift. And here's Saad trying to bust through. Knocked to the corner by Garrison. And it will come outside the line, and it looks like we're indeed headed to a shootout. Andrew Shaw, though, has other ideas. Shaw backhand wide of the net. It'll come to Saad. Back to the point. Horn sounds before Seabrook can let it fly. And we will go to a shootout here in Chicago tonight. Ranta and Eddie Lack in the spotlight when we come back for the shootout. So we head to a shootout. Not John Tortorella's favorite part of the game, but sure he'll take the point tonight and would love to get another one against Antti Ranta and the Blackhawks.
And you see Eddie Lack, not a ton of experience in shootouts, so gets into Roberto Luongo as Luongo's giving a little tips on the Chicago shooters.
Well, only one Vancouver Canuck in the lineup tonight even has a shootout goal. That's Mike Santorelli, who will shoot. You've got guys like Sharp and Toews who have 3 shootout goals this season.
But maybe most surprising, the guy out there right now going first, Patrick Kane, is 0 for 7 on the year.
That is hard to believe. 29 of 73 in his career, but has dipped under 40% with the slump this year. Let's see if Eddie Lack can make it continue. And he does. So Patrick Kane is 0 for 8. And Eddie Lack gives the Canucks an early advantage.
Big save by Eddie Lack. He's beat on the move as Kane, quick stick handle pull, backhand side. There's lots of net there, doesn't get it up high enough. And Lack with a glove save.
Here's Mike Santorelli. 1 for 5 on the year. With speed, and he scores, and Santorelli has the Canucks in front in the shootout.
Good move by Santorelli there on Raanta. Looking to shoot 5-hole the whole way, but he gets it back near the right leg. Right on through, just off the ice. Perfect shot. Great look at it right there, but back towards the opposite side.
Here's Jonathan Toews, 3 for 7, and Eddie Lack stops him. So the Hawks are 0 for 2.
Shooting second, Vancouver's number 22.
And out comes Daniel Sedin with a chance to win it.
Well, fake poke check here, threw it out, and not a lot going on in that move for Jonathan Toews.
Well, the Sedins don't usually take them. Let's see what happens here. Daniel in, and Raanta with the answer to keep the Hawks alive.
Raanta not biting on the backhand fake around the hash marks by Daniel Sedin. Stays right with them. Never really gets a good push the opposite way. Stays on his right edge and stays with the shooter.
And now Patrick Sharp against Eddie Lack. And Sharp. The sharpshooter, 4th goal in 7.
Just a dribbler here, backhand forehand trying to get it up, and just squeaks it off the body, but still finds the back of the net.
Daniel stopped Henrik for a Vancouver win in Chicago. And Raanta stops him. And a little evidence of why we don't see the Sedins a whole lot in the shootout.
A little slow there, not a much wit to that move, trying to get Raanta to bite and come back the other way. Raanta was having none of it.
So we go another round, and it's Marian Hossa, just his second shootout attempt. And he blasts it off the post.
A great angle from down here between the benches. Lots of room on that top glove side coming in. And Hossa has not beat from about 15 feet away, but rings it off the post.
And now for the first time this season, it's Big Zach Kassian, 1 for 3 in his career. Kassian in, and he's stopped. And we'll go to a 5th round.
Raanta not biting on these shot fakes. He's staying with the Deeks the whole way. Kassian tries to get him right there on the first pull, but he's nowhere near the outside of the net. Easy save for Raanta.
Maybe neither team really with good scouting reports on the respective goaltenders. I mentioned Brandon Saad. He's got a bushel full of moves, and none of them fooled Eddie Lack.
It's that quick stick. We saw it against Toews as well. You get in tight on Lack. He's not afraid to throw out the poke check. And he does that to Saad, trying to pull it back across in front of him, and he's not going to let you pull it that close, and well timed.
Well, Yannick Weber's going to, let's see.
He's got to take a break. And just resetting here. I don't know if there's something with the net off. Water bottle not where it should be, tucked in its holder.
A little extra time for Yannick Weber, as he looks for a game winner here. And he is stopped by Raanta.
The right idea, though. I'm not trying to do anything fancy with it. You're going to shoot that one blocker side. You got to get it above the height of the pad. And Weber doesn't do it. He puts it just a little bit too low for Raanta to make the save.
Round number 6, and it's Ben Smith who will take a turn. And Eddie Lack has been unflappable.
Eddie Lack's got his glove held at a bit of a different angle. Glove up, elbow down, and it makes the top glove look a little different. You see it right there, right by his ear, and then brings it down and cuffs that one. It's a little bit different look for guys.
Well, David Booth, another Canuck chance to win it. Booth in, and Raanta stays with him. Toronto, but he has really bounced back this week. And Antti Raanta and Eddie Lack are putting on a show here in the shootout.
Vancouver guys, you don't know Raanta. No, you want to maybe just think about shooting the puck because he is dialed in on the deeks.
So it will be Chris Versteeg. Second shot for him this year. And another stop, or was that just high over?
That's straight up and over. Trying to drag it across, open up the glove side, but again, watch the unique positioning of Lack's glove, up by his ear, and no, he does just get a piece of it to knock it over.
Well, here's Zach Dalby. Haven't seen much of him tonight, and maybe he can be the hero. Walking in and a glove stop. Raanta denies that.
Dalby, good stick handles, trying to create something, but I tell you what, not much going on with these moves by Vancouver.
So we head to the 8th round of the veteran Michael Handzus. And a toe stop. Eddie Lack's head. All the answers since that one goal.
Shooting us for Vancouver, number 17, Ryan Kessler.
Not giving guys much to shoot at down here. Not a lot of net on either goalie.
So here's Ryan Kessler, 0 for 3 on the year. Will he be the hero tonight? Kessler scores! Ryan Kessler's got a game winner, and it's a comeback victory for the Vancouver Canucks, backstopped by Eddie Lack, and Ryan Kessler providing the shootout deciding goal. Prior to the game, John Tortorella talked about how big a victory this could be looking back in April, and he comes up with a big road win in a tough building. 3-2, Vancouver wins.